Sit closer, traveler. I see curiosity in your eyes. Very well. Tonight I shall tell you how the story ended. Curiosity. Do you remember what I once told you about balance? How every emotion has its dual nature. Fire can warm, but it can also burn. Water can give life or drown. So it is with our feelings. They can bring either good or harm. But let us return to the tale. For the third time, Ulun made his way to the nameless lake. As before, his old mentor, the old shaman, walked beside him. But this time, they were joined by 11 more shamans from across the northern lands. Such a gathering is rare. Shamans do not often abandon their territories unless the matter is grave. This time, the life of one of their own was at stake. That was reason enough. The journey was long, yet they traveled swiftly. This time, they did not wander. They confidently reached the right lake. What can hide from one cannot hide from the united strength of many. Ulun once again stood at the edge of the lake, just as he had before. He placed his palm on the ice. It wasn't cold, like ordinary ice should be, but it wasn't warm as it had been the last time. It was neutral, perfectly smooth, and completely silent. Ulun placed his other hand on the ice and listened. Nothing changed. No thumps, no whispers. Absolute silence. Then Ulun tapped the ice. Once, twice, 3 times. Nothing. Silence. The old shaman approached and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Do not rush," he said. "We must prepare." The 12 shamans spread out around the lake. All day they gathered branches and logs, and when the sun dipped below the horizon, 12 fires ignited, encircling the frozen lake in flickering flame. 12 shamans raised their drums, and with one beat, they struck. A deep, resonant rhythm spilled across the ice. All night the fires burned. All night the drums sang above the frozen stillness. All night Ulun pressed his palms to the ice and listened. And as dawn approached, less than 2 hours away, Ulun felt it. Subtle vibrations in the ice, pulsing in time with the drums. He looked to the old shaman. The elder nodded and mouthed, "Go." Ulun stepped onto the ice. He walked toward the center, the vibrations growing stronger beneath each step. When he reached the heart of the lake, he knelt and knocked. Once, twice, 3 times. With a deafening crack, the ice split open, and Ulun fell into the depths below. This time, there was no city, no doors. He immediately found himself in a room with a dusty mirror. Only now, the mirror glowed with an ominous reddish hue. It too seemed to vibrate with the rhythm of the shaman's drums. Ulun took 2 cautious steps toward it. And then he heard a voice. No, not heard. The words seemed to float into his head. But they seemed so loud that Ulun covered his ears with his hands. "Why have you come?" asked the ancient entity. "I want to reclaim the part of me I left here," Ulun replied. The response came like a laugh but warped, like a cracked mirror echoing back. "No. Leave." Ulun didn't move. "I have a proposal," he said. "If I don't become whole again, I will die, and you will no longer see through my eyes. But if you return what you took, I swear, each year, on the eve of the summer solstice, I will come to you. I will let you glimpse my memories. For many years, you will still satisfy your curiosity. Silence. Thin trickles of blood ran from Ulun's ears, but the voice had gone quiet. Ulun stood frozen, knowing he couldn't last much longer. He was beginning to believe he too would remain here forever, like Ilan. But then, very well, the voice whispered, "Go, live, I will wait for you. Make your life interesting. That will determine its worth." Then, laughter again, horrid, inhuman, and darkness took him. Ulun awoke on the lakeshore. The sun was already rising, gilding the treetops in warm light. The drums had stopped, but the air still reeked of smoke from the dying fires. The 12 shamans sat in a circle around him. Their faces were etched with worry and silent questions. "I'm all right," Ulun said. "The ancient being accepted my offer. I am whole again, but I will pay the price." They say Ulun lived for a very, very long time after that, and barely aged. His hair remained white as snow, as it had been since his second visit to the lake. But time touched his face only lightly, and his body stayed strong and resilient, like that of a young reindeer. They say you can still meet him near the northern coast, a strange traveler, perhaps a hunter, perhaps a shaman. His face young, his hair silver white, and his eyes the color of February ice. They say he journeyed across the whole northern edge, from the sea to the foot of the mountains, fished with fishermen, drove reindeer with herders, traveled with merchants to distant cities during summer fairs. Some say he even wandered south, beyond the mountains. Who knows where truth ends and legend begins? Was the price high? Or did Ulun gain more than he lost? Life is like the sea. It always holds surprises. You never know what the net will bring. That's the tale, traveler. How many lessons have you learned? Will you remember, when morning comes, that every action has consequences, that everything has a price, and that you will never truly know how steep that price might be?